But anyway, there's one last thing about karaoke. I'm trying to wrap this up. I was in Phuket, and I stayed at the SP Mansion, and one night we always go over the Kiss. We wouldn't always. We'd go over the Kiss Club, or sometimes I go down to this other really fancy place, this bar, like, I don't know, 4 blocks down. Nobody else knew I went there. I went there, and I hung out with this guy named Roger Rabbit. It was fun. I did karaoke there a few times. But on this night, I didn't go there, and I didn't go to the Kiss Club. And I went with my friend T, and he brought a friend along with him. And you know, I feel like I did karaoke. I don't even remember. Maybe T did karaoke. I don't know anything about his friend. And so we're in there, and it's another place where you can bring your own whiskey bottle, but they only serve beer. And you know, I always try to be as generous as I could be to people, certainly friends, and to a lesser extent strangers. And the guy was just drinking. No, we must have had a whiskey bottle, as you'll hear in a second. So we must have brought a whiskey bottle in with us, and we're drinking that, and probably a couple of beers. And it was such a neat place. It was just, it looked like something. It looked like the fanciest property on Gilligan's Island. Like it was truly like a bamboo hut, and it was a strong enough hut that it had a second floor, which was where we were. But you walk up to it, and every time you walk up to it, there's just like these low light buzzing neon exterior lights for some purpose, and then like some, I don't know what you call them, like lawn lights where you just string them around, like if they weren't on a Christmas tree, you'd put them in your tree or whatever. And there'd always be like 2 or 3 ladies sitting. I never saw any of them stand. I lived quite close to this place. I mean, if I turned right out of my apartment, it would not take me 20 seconds to 30 seconds to get to this place. So I mean, I didn't go there that often, but as it was in relation to my location, they always sat on these same like plastic lawn chairs out there, and they didn't. I don't know. When I walked past, there was never any effort of solicitation. You know what I mean? Like, hey. I mean, they never. Maybe it was just because they knew this guy isn't. He doesn't. But I'd been there, so I don't know why I wouldn't say that. But I don't know what they were doing out there. It wasn't like, hey, come in and drink a beer and sing karaoke. They just sat there, right? So I mean, but anyway, it was just fun. To me, it was one of the most foreign places. Even the Kiss Club. I mean, it was weird. But it wasn't quite as weird as the bamboo hut place. God knows what that was called. If it had a name, I wouldn't know what it was if it was advertised in Thai, but it wasn't advertised in any language. So we went in there, my friend T and his buddy, and we sat up there on the second floor. I don't think T did, like I said, I don't think he did karaoke. I don't think his friend did karaoke. They were just there to drink. I mean, as was I, but I think I did. In the situations I've been in karaokeing, unless you're in like I don't know what. I'm sure if you were like in a Westerner fancy resort or something, and it was karaoke night, they'd probably have everything from, I'm going to make up shit band names, from Smash Mouth to Thread Knot. I don't know. I don't even know if Thread Knot, Slipknot, that's a band. But anyway, they probably have a lot. But as it was, most places only had like, they'd have, if you were lucky, and look, just to clarify, I suck at karaoke. I would not go out to a karaoke night these days. But it was just so weird to do English songs in front of people, and no one understood. The only thing they understood was how bad your voice was, not that you were getting the words wrong. But most places, if you were lucky, they would have like 2 or 3 Beatles songs, and maybe a Willie Nelson, Elvis Presley. The one I always appreciated the most, and I don't know, I can't remember which places I went, but a couple of them would have Glen Campbell, Wichita Lineman, and Galveston. Those are my favorite to sing. There's probably another artist or two, I can't remember. If you were lucky, they had Glen Campbell. But on this night, they didn't have Glen Campbell. I can't remember what I sang to. But we were up there for like an hour or something. And, you know, we had the whiskey and drinking beer and stuff. And I don't remember what really set it off. I mean, let's just say it was me. Let's just blame me. That's fine. I don't care. I'd never met this guy before. And from what I can't think of a fancy word. From what I got from the situation, he wanted more beer, but I had bought all the beer, right, for all of us. And I don't care if I buy a beer for tea. I don't care if I buy tea, a case of beer. He's good for it. But this other guy wanted beer, and I got upset about that. I was like, I told T, I was like, I don't understand. Your friend, I've never met this guy before. We're hanging out, and I can't pay for everything for his night or whatever. And he got really mad. He didn't speak English, so whatever T interpreted to him made him really mad. And he got up and slammed his hand on the table and went down the stairs and went outside. And I don't know if I assume we tabbed out or whatever. And T and I went outside, and he was out there waiting. Standing. And like I said, it was only 20 seconds or something from where I was living. And the guy's yelling at me and yelling at T and pointing at me, and he's got this whiskey bottle in his hand. It looked empty. I don't remember how much I don't think, maybe that's why he was so mad, because we drank the whole bottle of whiskey. But he was pointing at me, and I have no idea what he's saying. T was such a calming effect, he doesn't want anything to happen. He wasn't that aggressive in shutting the guy down, to be honest with you. But so the guy comes at me, and I'm standing literally in front of the parking lot of the hotel I'm staying in, and the guy comes up and lunges at me with this whiskey bottle in his hand, spout side in the hand. And it wasn't close. I mean, he came at me with it, swung it at me swinging at my head. But I mean, I don't know, maybe he's just joshing, or maybe he was drunk, or he doesn't know how fighting works or something. But I mean, he didn't really come close. But I mean, he didn't come close because I had to duck out of the way. So I mean, whatever, it could have hit me, I guess. And at this point, T grabs him, and whatever he says to him, and the guy just kind of shrugs it off. Doesn't say another word to me, I guess. I mean, he didn't say another. I don't know if he was speaking to me. He wasn't expressing that. But that was just another weird night of karaoke, and that was all I did. I went back into the place I was staying and got a bag of chips. But I never had anybody come at me with a whiskey bottle. And it makes me wonder if it was a wise choice to go to that Gilligan's Island karaoke joint.